Hi everyone, this is Kimberly Knox, KK, your astrologer, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to work, welcome back to school. It is Virgo time. It is time to get back into it, healthy, organized, successful, doing the work. I hope you all had an amazing summer. I did. I had tons of work to do. I had school, I was traveling, I had a birthday, and moving, all these things. And we're given some time right now with Mercury. We're going to be talking about Mercury Retrograde. We're giving extra time to get it together, just like we were back in January. The year gets started off. We had a lot of things go on last fall. We were making new changes and bringing some new things to the table, making big changes in our lives, possibly moving. And January, we had this really great Mercury retrograde as well. I'm going to share with you why Mercury retrograde is one of the most important times. It happens 3 times a year. Why you shouldn't be fearful of it, but why it's such a pain in the tush. It really is, because Mercury rules so much. First of all, I just want to thank you all for sharing my videos, for all of you who have chosen to subscribe to my channel and spend some time with me. I know there's lots of people out there that you can watch, and I'm very grateful. You can also follow me on Instagram. I love to give little tidbits of inspiration throughout the month, throughout the weeks. So nearly every day there's something there, either on health or on astrology. So let's talk about Mercury retrograde. I did an entire video on Mercury retrograde. Some of you that have been following me may have remembered that, because this year all of the Mercury retrogrades are in Earth signs. That's extremely important. This is a year of building. We're building success. We have been building layers of this new foundation, and things unfold at the right time. Astrology is an amazing quantum physics science. It is a science of energy. It is a science of timing. It's mysterious, but it's so potent. If you've been at it as long as I have, it is just incredible. So this little bit of self-knowledge, the beginning of wisdom is self-knowledge. So there's no time like the present. And thank you for you, and congrats to you people that are trying to learn something deeper about yourself. The investment that you make in yourself is the investment that you give and gift that you give to all of those around you. Anytime that you are upgrading your perception, your how you see the world, it's just you're increasing your own experience in life, and that's really important. Mercury retrograde. What does it rule? Why is it a pain? This is the year of the fire monkey, yet we've had so many great earth signs holding us here. And this year, really, it's really about success and really bringing the final, almost like it's like the final countdown. And you can be, if you're following this and you're taking chances and you just keep moving forward, you can have the greatest success. Things that you've been bringing, this is the year that you're going to be having it come forward. So Mercury rules a lot of things that cause problems because it's so visible. It rules commerce and all transportation. So your cars, trains, planes, automobiles, right? Make sure your car has its service done. Make sure you're getting your oil changed. Things might break. It can be costly, Mercury retrograde, because things sometimes break that you know what, they were going to break anyway. So Mercury's already in the shadow. It's already in its shadow, so you might have been getting, some information already. And we're in eclipse time. We're already finding out news that is requiring us to make choices, and we're already finding out things that are gearing us in different directions. It is really a lot of shifting energy going on. Mercury rules all the day-to-day transportation, all of the computer stuff, technology, your phones, your emails, your social media, all shipping, all deliveries, speech, thoughts, thinking. This is your experience. Everything that you manifest in life, where you are right now, all started years ago. It started years ago with a thought about, am I with the right person? And I'm with the right job? Am I around the right people? Do these represent who I want to be? You've been getting rid of things for years. And where you are right now and the people that are no longer with you, they're not supposed to be there. But, it takes a while to really get things going. But thoughts are things. And your thinking brings you, it attracts things to you. It attracts what you want. So everything begins with a thought, then a decision, and then you take actions upon that, and you just keep moving forward. That's how we do it. And sometimes you feel like you're not moving fast enough. The grind is not fast enough, but things seem to unfold as they're supposed to. We get stressed enough as it is. What does it rule in the body? It rules the nervous system, all of the connective tissues. It rules the hands, the arms, the fingers. Some of the other things that it rules, signing contracts and agreements. Well, normally during Mercury retrograde, things come back, things come up. All of a sudden you get a job offer. All of a sudden you get an offer to sell your house. Well, just as you'll find out that sometimes it just doesn't work out. It takes a few weeks to get it to actually work out. You might be going for something, you find something you want, but then you've got to tweak it and work it out. If you have to sign something, you'll find out that possibly you have to re-sign, or maybe there's something that has to change. It rules classes, schools, and schedules. So we just all started school the end of August, September. So things may be adjusting during that process as well. And definitely your routines are having to be adjusted. So all of the communication equipment, your computers, fax, phones, iPads, electronic equipment, this is not the time to buy new stuff. Make sure that your stuff that you have is working correctly. And in fact, you might have some breakdowns, especially when Mercury stations to go retrograde or direct. These things just seem to be linking up, and it's really strange, but this is just what happens. I had an entire shipment that was being held in a container. I knew Mercury was retrograde, and I needed the stuff for a rush job. This was for my marketing business. Lo and behold, as soon as Mercury went direct, finally things were released. So it is very frustrating, but also it brings things back from the past. People, contracts, business, opportunities for us to reassess. And I'm going to go through each sign, rising sign, sun sign, and I'm going to show you and talk about those areas for you. So travel, shipping, mail, transport, travel. If you have to travel during this time, make sure you're double checking things. Check your luggage, check your transportation, just make sure that everything is ticked and tied on this, because it rules all that. What it's not ideal for, it's not ideal for new advertising and new social media campaigns. You want to revise all of that. You want to review that. Important decisions that need to be made. You might need more information. So this is a perfect time. The sun is the life-giving CEO of not only of your chart, of us here on Earth, and Mercury is the messenger. So Mercury, when it goes retrograde, has gotten so far in front of the sun, it needs to back up. And we need to gather the information. So it plays this dance between the earth and the sun. And during this time, we gather and get the information that wasn't available to us. Now, during this Mercury retrograde time, we're going to be having a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is going to be a doozy because Mars is going to be squaring it. We may see some more aggression and outbreaks of violence in the world because of that, because of Mars triggering that. It's happened 3 times this year already when Mars has triggered an eclipse. So a lot is going to happen. It's going to shake out in September so that we're clearer in the time of October to go forward when we have the next new moon, September the 30th. And we are back on track. Purchases of all electronic equipment, high-end computer items, anything technical. It's not a great time to buy them. You may actually want to wait to buy your Apple products because they're coming out in September unless they postpone until Mercury goes direct. I would, you might as well if you know the information. A few weeks isn't going to hurt. You've been waiting all this time. So sending important, correspondence. Oh my gosh. You really, have you ever sent an email and then you realize you forwarded it and the stuff down below, the person that you forwarded to shouldn't see all of the conversations you've been having? Just make sure that you're checking this stuff. Make sure who you're texting your text messages to, it's supposed to go to. Don't get caught with your pants down. Either way we say it, right? No monkey business around this time. Just be really weary of what you're saying. Miscommunications happen all the time. So if you need to say something to someone, get off your phone, get off your texting, call somebody, or better yet, go see him in person, especially if it's important. If it's dealing with a relationship, you better talk to him in person. Just saying, right, people? So any important projects, it's not a time for new stuff. It's not, because we're refining. We're getting stuff from the past that's come back that needs to be relooked at. We don't have time for new stuff. It's time for us to really, if anything from the past comes back, we needed to look at it. We needed to either look at it so that we can finally be done with it, and that includes relationships. Like you come back and you're taking a look and you're going, what was I thinking? All right? Then it had to happen. So you get them out of your brain and don't do anything stupid that's going to sabotage your relationships. We do that all the time, right? Or at least some people do. And let's just be smart. Beginning new enterprises, not a time for that. There's going to be a time for revision. So what is it an excellent time to do? Review and revise existing plans that you have. Go through your files and get rid of stuff. Go through your closets and get rid of stuff. This is an organization process. It's great feng shui, by the way. Rethinking, cleaning out stuff, repairing your cars, all your household appliances. Make sure things are in repair. Make sure you have your handyman's number listed down. Revising, cleaning up your emails. Do any of you have like 10,000 emails or 5,000 or 6,000? Go through your sent file, get rid of stuff. You actually might come across an email that you needed to address and you didn't. You might find something there that you needed to see. Old people, old plans, old projects come back for a second look, like I said, reconsider or move on for good. Now, this eclipse time, it's really interesting that we're mixing retrograde time with eclipses, because eclipses open your eyes to things you didn't see. If people are eclipsed out of your life, they're meant to be gone. A job might be eclipsed out of your life, but definitely things come up. You have to make choices, and you just have to adjust to it. It's like real life stuff when this happens. So let's go on to where we are with Mercury retrograde. So timing wise, Mercury's already in its shadow. It's been in its shadow since August the 10th. The shadow means that we've already got to the point by degree of where Mercury later is going to go direct. So at 15 degrees of Virgo, August the 10th, this is when, we've already been we're going to be re-going over this area. So we may be having some like foreshadowing type of event, feelings like, I was thinking about that, or somebody might be on our mind, or some project or something, or we may actually be having some people come back already. The last aspect before Mercury goes retrograde holds some of the message of this Mercury retrograde period, along with some of the actions that Mercury makes during this time. The last aspect that Mercury makes prior to going retrograde is it conjoins with Venus. That's great news, by the way, because Venus is everything that we want, and it's everything that we're trying to attract, and everything that's good for like love and money and Venus is just one of those benefic planets. So it really says, listen, we're in line with what we want, we know what we want, but there's work to be done. There's a lot of work, refinement, adjustment. We have the tools, we've got to do that. So Mercury meets with Venus, and then Mercury goes off into Libra. And Venus goes off into the sign of Libra, and Mercury stays in Virgo to go retrograde. And that's the last aspect that it makes prior to the station retrograde on August the 30th. So Mercury and Venus is then going off into Libra to get us ready to all this work that we're going to be doing when Jupiter gets into Libra. And that's great news for Libra and Libra rising. It's great news for Jupiter ruled people. Your ruler now is going into Libra, so it's a time of cooperation, diplomacy, gaining the cooperation of other people so that you could go on and do more than you can do by yourself. It is about love and romance. It is about compassion for others and thinking of others while still being your own unique self. So we'll see that come together. And that's why I'm saying we may have and this next big world kind of event where we're actually having to see where this healing is going to come from, where compassion is necessary, where unity is necessary. So Mercury stations and it goes retrograde on August the 30th. This is the day before the eclipse. So there's this real synchronicity going on, and 29 degrees is a fated degree. So it's saying that, we got all the way through Virgo, but hey, we had stuff going on in August, right? We had, we're just barely getting back. The kids are going to school. It's like a little bit of chaos going on. So thank God, right? Thank goodness that we have the ability to stall a little bit. And you'll see when I talk about the September 1st in the prediction video I'm going to do, the September 1st eclipse, it is like it's stalling because the ruler of this eclipse is Mercury, and Mercury is retrograde. So not until September 22nd are we going to have a real kind of go-ahead. And you'll see it's important after that because also Pluto's going to go direct. So we've really got a time span of like 3 weeks where we're going to be able to get the refinement done, get the answers. We're going to be, seeing where we're going because this eclipse could take people out of our lives or bring new people in or bring new opportunities to us. September 2nd, Mercury is going to be meeting with Jupiter, and Mercury is going to be doing this, a few different times, but it's the second time that this is happening. It is going to be doing it again, and that's when Jupiter is actually in Libra. So the first time was on August the 22nd. So this brings a sense of optimism and a sense of exuberance, expansion. We know that we've got a lot of work to do, but we're ready to kind of tear into it in this whole Virgo sense. By September the 12th, we've already had the first quarter. We've already got Jupiter into Libra, but this is the Mercury transit time. This is the inferior conjunction. This is when we get that aha moment. This is when we get the news of going, okay, I see like a lot of things that I needed to know, all this information. But around that time, we also have long void periods. Void moons are just when nothing's really connecting, so we just really take care of what's already on our plate. Do our basic paperwork and desk work that we need to. We're not starting new things, we're taking care of stuff, and it's kind of great that we have that. So along with this aha moment, we also have Mercury square Mars. That is a lot of energy in itself. And so that's really going to propel us forward as well and help us move into this energy of, getting on it. Sharp thinking, sharp words, sharp thoughts that help move us forward. 1 second. So, this aha moment is fabulous. September the 20th, Mercury is trining Pluto. This is extremely powerful. It's going to happen several times, but this is in a powerful time where you feel like you're getting the information together. If you're going to need to sign a contract, you're almost ready at this point, because Mercury's going direct in a few days. But there might still need to be some refinement. But you really are getting your plans together, because if you're thinking, there's a powerful line up of plans. September 22nd, Mercury stations to go direct. And also on that same day, we've got the sun going into Libra. It is the autumn equinox. There's a huge shift of energy around this time. And before this, we also have the lunar eclipse, don't forget, which is going to be very, very aggressive. We have Mars there on a personal level. We're taking a lot of action. On a global level, there may be some outbursts, somehow aggression take hold. So it's the September 21st is really the day before that. It's a really good time to sit with this energy, sit with this knowledge of stuff that you have, that you're going forward with, and just, let yourself ease into all this shifting information. September 22nd, that's the autumn equinox, the whole energy shift. By September the 23rd, we've got Mercury trining Pluto the second time. Really, this is like a 5-star day for our plans, for planning, for powerful plans, for contracts, so we can start to move forward. So we look for when Mercury gets back to the same spot that it entered. October 6th is going to be that day. Mercury is back to 29 degrees of Virgo. We've got the stuff figured out. We've done the heavy lifting. We've done the heavy work. And we can move on into connecting with other people, getting cooperation together so that you can go forward and create what you need to, forming partnerships, relationships that you need for your success. The moon is an optimistic Sagittarius that day. It's conjoining with Saturn. There's plenty of structure and responsibility around. And the sun is in a last quarter square with Pluto. Action. Powerful transformation. So we're making action in steps toward this, creating these new foundations that we've been working on. So this is a lot of energy and power around this time. Something else is happening on October the 7th, and now I can't remember what it is or where I wrote it down. Hold on 1 second. All right, well, it might come to me. So the outcome. Whenever we look at the Mercury retrograde cycles, we look at the full, meeting up, and then the actual outcome. This outcome is incredible. We're going to be having also Mercury at the time of, is it the eclipse? Mercury is going to be triggering the eclipse in the fall, last fall. So it's going to be showing us, how far we've come, but also at the outcome time on October the 25th, Mercury is going to be at 5 degrees of Scorpio. Back in 2013, we had a lunar eclipse at 5 degrees of Scorpio, April 2013. We also had Mars retrograde at this time in Libra. We were, going over all this stuff about relationships. We were looking at what we've gotten rid of, all the toxic things in our lives, what we're shifting away from. So this outcome is really going to show us, in no uncertain terms, that what you've gotten rid of and what surrounds you now is really more reflective of who you are and where you're going. So you're going to be able to see how far you've come with what controls you. This is all like control and we've deep mergers, investments where you've invested your time and your money. You're going to be on track more than ever if you've been doing the work. So this outcome time it's really important, and it comes 3 days before the new moon in Scorpio. So around October 27th, we're really on our way to forming something really deep and powerful. So I'm going to finish up now with going through each of the signs. Mercury retrograde, the eclipse in Virgo have been in these areas. So For Virgo and Virgo rising, this represents your first house. So this is your personal house. This is your image. This is your self-expression. This is getting to know you, your self-knowledge about yourself. So this is a great time for an astrology reading or learning about yourself through astrology, perhaps. Revamping your whole look. Reaffirming who you are and how you're expressing yourself. For Leos and Leo rising, this is your second house. This has to do with what you value and the money that you make. So you're going through things, do I really want this? Does this really relate to who I am? You're going to be looking at money that's owed to you, due to you, how you're making your money. Are you getting enough? Do you need to ask for a raise? Are you worth it? So, because this goes to our deep value. Review your bank account. Go over, pay off things. Start saving, start a savings. It's replenishing and reevaluating your values. Cancer and Cancer rising, this is your third house. This has to do with the natural Mercury house, the natural Gemini house, communications, thinking, transportation, getting your car repaired. Maybe you need some service. Avoiding miscommunications, because this is communications, email, social media. This has to do with reconnecting with your siblings. So rewriting and rethinking, these are very big words for you. And you can put RE in front of almost anything, and that relates to Mercury retrograde. Gemini has to do with your fourth house. This has to do with home. A lot's been going on in the home. Every area that I mentioned here, we've already had the eclipses there. Jupiter's been there. The North Node is there. So this is a hotbed already for you. Home changes, redecorating. You're regrouping your whole foundation. Maybe you're going through things that you brought up from childhood. Family. Maybe you need to reconnect with family. Maybe you need to heal some things with family. Maybe you're rerooting yourself in a new home. You're reestablishing yourself from the really roots of who you are. Taurus, the fifth house. This has to do with creative projects and your children. So you need to be re-inspired for a creative project, or you need to bring out your inner child, your children. Maybe something's going on with your child, your firstborn. You're needing to spend more time with them, or you need to reignite relationships or rekindle romance that you have going on. So spending time there. Aries, this is all about your sixth house. This is your health, this is your work, this is your daily healthy routine and your fitness regime. Reorganizing your workplace, maybe rejuvenating your health. You need to review and maybe research things for your health issues that you've been having, maybe new ways to eat, looking at changing your schedules and your routine that can be helpful. Reworking things in the workplace with people that you work with. Pisces and Pisces rising, this is your seventh house. This is all relationships, business and personal. This is all of your clients. So this has to do with renegotiating partnerships. And in marriages, this has to do with recommitting communication with partners, reuniting, reestablishing that closeness and that companionship. Communication, so making sure that you're communicating openly in partnerships. Aquarius, this is your eighth house. So this has to do with all of your shared money, your debt, money from other people, reallocating, repaying debt, looking at taxes, money that you owe, loans, money owed, mortgages that may having to be redone. Insurance, making sure that you are renewing your insurance contract, reviewing your insurance, making sure you have enough. Discussing your sexual need, this is intimacy. This is communication regarding intimacy. So we've got Capricorn and Capricorn rising. This is your ninth house. This has to do with your belief systems. Your belief systems create your experiences. So what are your philosophies? Reassessing about your truth in life, because this could upgrade your experience in life. Resit for an exam, possibly. Review things where you can increase your certificate or increase your knowledge that will help out in your career, because everything's going into Libra. Jupiter's going into Libra is going to accent your whole career zone and how you're you're being seen in the outside world, so retraining yourself. And Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, this is your 10th house, this is career, this is your public image. Clean up old business. This is past jobs may come back. Maybe you're losing a job. Maybe you need to watch your communication with your boss. Maybe you have the ability to reestablish a communication or relationship with your boss. Maybe you need to apply for a job that you want to reapply again. Maybe you need to ask for that raise again. Research new careers or new careers or ways in which you could advance in your own career. Revamp your public image. Scorpio rising, this is your 11th house. This is catching up with old friends. This is how you're networking, and networking groups are advancing your career. Maybe you need to look at the groups that you're in and maybe reevaluate how they can raise you up. Maybe you run into old friends and maybe you have misunderstandings with friends, and it gives you time to then rework some of that. Review and recapture your dreams and your goals. The last is Libra and Libra rising. That's your 12th house. And this is the house that, where you're preparing. Libra, you have Jupiter going in your sign. This is the first time in 12 years. This is great for you. We need to retreat. We need to have quiet contemplation. There's been a lot of inner psychology going on. Maybe you're getting messages about from your deep subconscious. We need to retrain your brain. It's a great time to meditate, getting past life regression so that you can understand some of this deeper stuff. The spiritual life can get a boost during this time because you're looking into reviewing ways that could benefit you. Releasing old toxic thoughts and memories from the past and recommuning with either prayer or with ways that you set intentions to get success in your life. So that's this Mercury retrograde that's coming up. It is extremely important. I want you to be centered. I want you to be enthusiastic about it because great stuff is coming, not just for this, but because of the eclipses. So reach out to me at kkastrology.com. Email me for a private consultation so we can get more specific in your chart. And thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful month.